So, in the timeless state, timelessness, there's no needs, wants, and desires. It's more like we have to, one particle, right? We, me, you, create a new desire to even do anything. Because what drives us as humans is desire. The desire to create, the desire to experience, the desire to feel. In the 600s, there's no more desires, needs, and wants. It's just peace, which paradoxically brings to us all that we desire. Because in that moment, we let go of wanting it. And what's the easiest way to receive when we're calling in? To let go of craving for that particular thing. So when there's no more craving, there can be just a preference. It's a subtle preference. So it becomes really easy to experience what we want because we don't want it anymore. It's the end of wantingness and the beginning of true love. Not a romantic love that it's a me that wants a you for the animal desire for creation, of pleasure, feeling good. That adrenaline rush, those pheromones for the sake of the moment. It's not a love that comes from that, from possession, from conquering. It's a love that feels good to be with, to peacefully enjoy presence, company, because it has realized that it is itself. So all those solar plexus desires of possession come from not realizing that one is the other. You desire what is you, the symbol, thing, entity that is reflecting what you are, or something that we may have been suppressing and then they are embodying. So then that's the where the desire comes from. Yet in the realization of oneself as all particular beings in our unique expression, then what is there to want? Where is there to go? Doesn't matter where we travel, there we are. It's just a different backdrop, different sensation of experiencing. Yes, there's energetic grids and there are places that calibrate higher than others. Yet when you have a strong auric field, really strong crystallized, high 500s, 600s, doesn't matter where you go. It's an illuminated state. It's a celestial realm. Few beings have entered, many have fallen. The pitfalls of the heavens, the guardians, the dragons of paradox, guarding the gates of enlightenment. If we're not ready for paradox, we're not ready for enlightenment. Because we're gonna be tested. Every single state of consciousness, the next opportunity to crystallize the next grid, the evolution of your soul, of our soul, is going to have its own tests, challenges, and the retaliation of the collective consciousness that wants the soul to stay where it's at because it's serving a purpose. It's like in every next level of consciousness, you need to divorce the previous level with all the relationships that you had in that one. Of course, the collective consciousness is going to retaliate and doesn't want you to keep evolving because you were playing a role for them. But you got to stay put and you got to let go of everything and everyone. And in that, my friend, comes its own reward. The reward that you receive when you know you're safe, knowing that every time you follow your excitement, new potential doors open with these delicious connections that are more relevant and are really beneficial for where you're at in your soul's expansion. Those are the ones that are going to show up. So there's nothing to fear. It's a consistent revelation of beauty, essence, love. So with no attraction and no aversion, and the devotion to the will of God, we let go of all the hindrances. We surrender all the obstacles. We don't fight them, we surrender them. We allow the energies that are not aligned with the ultimate truth to just fall from the field, to just let them take over your body, let them become you. Become the energy. Don't suppress it, because that's its way out. That's its way out. You're not the reflection. You're not the contraction. You are the space in which the contraction appears. You're the space in which any sort of emotion shows up. Emotions are not real. If we were to be in embodied God state all the time, again, the timeless relaxation into what already is, and it always was, there would be no single emotion. Just a relief of body contentment. Contentment, relief of the subtle body. Like the joy of a little kid feeling cuddled by its mother. Like being in the womb of creation. Be excited for the obstacles to show up. If it were easy, everybody would be enlightened. If it were easy, everybody would be rich. Every single obstacle must be played out in grace and surrender to God. Oh, but I can't surrender this relationship. I can't surrender this attachment. Surrender it to God. And then the next one comes again. Surrender it to God. But I can't let go of this or that. Or surrender it to God. You'll find the strength that you need to surrender whatever arises for the ultimate truth. And that is its own satisfaction. Through periods of grief, of hatred, self-hatred, all emotion, less preferable emotion, guilt, shame, questioning your own sanity, not knowing where to find a ground. There's no ground, guys. That's the thing. Oh, just we must be grounded. We must be grounded. There's no fucking ground. You get comfortable in the free falling. That's the ground, the groundlessness, because there's no center. There's nobody that needs to be grounded because there's not a person in there in that moment. It's the self pointing you back to the self with capital S. A revelation of intrinsic beauty and challenge. Until the momentum and the strength of the spiritual will, spiritual momentum takes over. And then it's easeful. Oh, but this attachment, the loss of love, the fear of ill health, the fear of poverty, the fear of being ridiculed. It's unreal. Doesn't exist. There's only abundance. God's dancing with itself, getting to know itself, challenging itself. It's all the same thing. Yes, there's higher levels of light and lower levels of astrals and hells and different realms and deities, and yet what you are, it doesn't matter in which realm, even if it's a hell, and been there many times. It's the lesson of the moment. One must play it out in grace. You won't die. And you will. That personality deconstructs itself. It's like the ego dies many, many, many times and reconstructs itself from a higher point of awareness. Then you're stronger. It's a humble strength. And then you can draw upon those memories for the rest of your life, which allows you to always choose the heart desire fearlessly. Thank you. Love is. God is.